Welcome to our session. And Jazakumullah khaira. I want to start by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us this opportunity to serve His deen, His religion, to do what we can to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I want to thank our amazing admin, Sister Amber, and she has been very important in everything we have been doing. May Allah bless her and her family. And I also want to thank all our instructors without whom we cannot even have classes. So you gentlemen and ladies are really very, very important for us for everything we do to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The ISGH Job Networking is a committee that was formed under ISGH in an attempt to serve Allah by connecting people, the Muslim community together by granting them a number of different workshops, training, and we do a lot of other things. My name is Dalia Mitwali. I'm the Education Director of the ISGH Job Networking Committee. We are under my department, we offer classes. We offer different classes. Today, you're going to see some of them, but we also offer ESL classes. We offer computer literacy classes and many others, alhamdulillah, with Allah's help. So having said that, I'm going to actually call on our admin, Sister Amber, to welcome everyone. We're going to try and start, inshallah, with all presentations at 6:05. So until then, inshallah, Sister Amber, you could take the mic, inshallah.
Thank you, Sister Dalia. Jazakallah khair. We want to thank everybody for taking time out from their evening and joining us today. Alhamdulillah. We hope that this is an informative session for you. We are starting some new classes that we think, inshallah, will be beneficial for our community. I will go ahead and pass the mic to Brother Imtiaz now. And inshallah, I hope you guys can see my screen. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I can, yes.
Yes.
Wonderful, inshallah. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pass it to Brother Imtiaz.
Okay, so I'll go. So, Assalamu alaikum, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity, obviously, to share some of the knowledge with the community. I'll go through it pretty quick. I'm going to talk about Agile, so I should be good about maintaining my own time box, so I'll keep it short. Sister, if you can go to the next slide, please. So my name is Imtiaz Fazal. I'm with a Fortune 100 company as their Chief Agility Officer. I run the entire Agile methodology and standard and practice for them. Feel free to connect me with on LinkedIn and reach out if there's any questions, even after the session, through the WhatsApp number that you have. Ignore the certifications. The intent there was just to show you that, something that I enjoy learning and sharing. The role that I am in particularly right now involves not just depth of knowledge, but also a breadth of knowledge. And also maybe, hopefully, if I get an opportunity to teach you guys, it kind of validates that I have somewhat of a credential to do justice to the job. So next slide, please. So the intent here is to start with an Agile foundational certification. Many of you may have heard about the word Agile. Some of you might be new in the community. The intent is to start with the foundational certification, start with a Tuesday and a Thursday session twice a week, 6 to 8 p.m. CST time. The session will go on for at least 3 weeks. So in total, we'll have 6 classes starting on February 8th as of now. Okay, next slide. So if you look at an Agile particularly space, and if you search on just general Agile jobs, and I did this on LinkedIn, you get around 624 or 5,000 jobs in Agile. And if you search on the word remote, potentially there's 150,000 jobs out there that are in the Agile space. The salary typically range, depending on your years of experience and the role you're in, from 50,000 to 175K. The roles are pretty spectrum of information. You may have heard of roles such as typical Scrum Masters, Advanced Scrum Masters, Product Owners, those that are business analysts, eventually become product owners in the Agile space. There are a lot of opportunities for Agile coaches, enterprise level coaching, and also director of Agile practices. So all in all, there's a lot of space in the Agile. Developers and testers and technology as well, in many cases, are part of an Agile team. Next slide. Why is this important? I've been telling this to the community since 2016, 2017, learn Agile, learn Agile. Today, believe it or not, every CEO out there for every company in their town hall talks about their company and organization being Agile, right? So you can hide, but you certainly can't run away from the fact that it is the Agile world. The training focus really is about foundational. So we talk about both practices in terms of team level frameworks and those that are at the scale level. So meaning expanding your Agile knowledge into different frameworks that are enterprise driven. This is just a subset of the content I want to cover, inshallah, in the class, but it varies from basic foundation, adoption of Agile maturity models, personal agility, business agility, DevOps, DevSecOps in some cases. So that's just a little vanilla flavor of what the class would cover for the group, inshallah. Next slide. The intent here is to build a good foundational understanding of the Agile space. It is a broad umbrella of framework. Certainly the intent is to start somewhere with the understanding of what Agile is and grow your knowledge from there. With the class, you do get a certification from Agile CP, which physically looks like that. That is a Jira certification, but similar to that, you'll have an Agile foundational certification. This you can actually leverage in your resumes and potentially share on your LinkedIn if there are some opportunities for jobs in the future in the Agile space. Okay, next slide. And if the Agile Foundation was too basic for you, work with the community and the team and the organizers, and maybe we can figure out a different level of path for you. Maybe you're at the Scrum Master role, maybe you're at a different level. If not, just explore on your own and reach out to Sister Dahlia or myself if you have any other questions. So with that, I just want to end my presentation. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I wanted to keep it brief. I know there are a lot of presenters today. And with that, I will pass on the baton to somebody else.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Feroz, and I'm going to talk about AWS Big Data Analytics. First of all, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and thank you to admin for again giving this opportunity. So quickly talking about this course, it's AWS Big Data Analytics. In the next slide, probably we'll talk more about it. So before that, yeah, my name is Feroz Shikalgar. More than 20 years of IT experience, worked mainly in oil and gas domain, predominantly executed quite a vast of projects in this domain. I played roles starting from solution architect, the program manager, delivery lead, to solution architect. So a mixed bag of experience from my experience perspective. Slightly about my certification, I am Azure Solution Architect, AWS Solution Architect, did my machine learning certifications, and other than that, I'm also the certified Scrum Master. So based upon the client, based upon the requirements, I kind of play different roles. Currently, I'm working as a program manager for one of the oil and gas industries. More details you can always see on my LinkedIn profile, but yeah, next slide, please. So the way we want to actually start these classes is we'll kick off on Feb 10. The duration of class is roughly around 1.5 hours to 2 hours. We'll run around 5 to 6 classes. So, and again, the platform essentially is Zoom, Google Classroom. The timing is flexible. I'm planning to run these classes between Maghrib and Isha. So we'll figure out the best time based upon everybody's suitability. Next slide, please. Cool. Again, sorry about the font, but probably I'll do justice by talking about this point. So what is big data analytics, right? So as the name suggests, we are talking about a data which is really big in size and you're trying to analyze. And all of this is happening on a cloud platform called AWS. So what is a big data? Imagine you might have heard a megabyte, gigabyte, but now we are really talking about not only 6 or 9 zeros after one, but really 12, 15, 18 zeros. So you're talking in terms of petabyte and zettabytes. Again, so that is essentially the big data. But it's not only the size, but many times when industries actually use this data and process this data, it's not in a standard format. Many times it is like unstructured data where data is coming as audio file, video files, some messed up text and so on. So on using this platform, right, our intention is to analyze this data um, and so that we can use this data for better reporting, better decision making, as well as we can use this data, using some of the modified machine learning algorithms, you can start predicting about future. So this is about it. The word analytics is actually different than analysis. So you might have heard a word called business analyst, but this is really analytics. And the one difference really here is, right, analyst is actually a person who would actually do when something happens. So it's a reactionary in nature, whereas analytics is something which would actually, the person would act before something is going to happen. So essentially, you are trying to predict the future based upon the historical data that you have. So a big power here. The roles really they would start really from data analytics. It could be a data scientist, and there is a vast umbrella of really the roles here. You might actually settle yourself again as a solution architect, DevOps admin, but really we're going to talk about mainly around data analytics and data scientist. Salary, again, based upon your seniority, right? I'm guessing at a minimum you would have 80, 90K as a start, even as a fresher, and it might actually go, if you directly work with companies like, say, AWS, it might actually go over 200 plus. Um, so what is really expected here is, right, anybody who has some initial programming experience on some of the clients server technologies, have some basic concept, this course is really a suitable course for them. So why to invest in this course? As I mentioned, right, the world is not really left over as a server and client-side technology, or world is really not, I'm a developer or I'm an analyst. The world is really coming together. But with the advent of these cloud technologies, what happened was the restriction we had around the storage capacity or the processing power, they are actually really now none to nil, right? So what it means is you can really store infinite amount of data and you can really process them very cheaply using some of the cloud-based solution, AWS being one, but yeah, definitely you might have heard about Azure and so on. So very interesting field. If you go back, please. Very interesting field, right? Anybody who wants to pursue and develop his career starting from basic programming skills, I would say this is a base course. What I'm really aiming from this course is this course essentially would teach you the basics of big data analytics course, and will make you at least capable and sufficient enough to appear for this certification. And you can easily clear this certification. So getting some of the expert level certification is like kind of a very essential thing to boost up your confidence as well as to set up your career in the cloud field. So my intention is to give you all the knowledge, all the basic pointers. That way you can actually go through this course, understand the course, go through the study material, and at least you should be able to pass this data analytics exam on the AWS platform. So that's about it. My LinkedIn details are there on the slide. If you have any questions, you can directly talk to me, or you can approach either Sister Amber or Sister Dalia. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Ali Sahib. I'm a principal data architect at Waste Management. Sister, can move to next slide. I have a Bachelor of Engineering Education and Principal Data Architect at Waste Management. I have over 15 years of data technology experience. Worked on various data spaces, including business intelligence, data analytics reporting, ETL technologies, and building the data dimensional modeling and reporting and data analytics. My email address is out there on the slide. If you can move to the next slide, please, sister. So what I'm going to teach is I'm going to teach about the databases. It is a foundational course, database and SQL. So in every job in the software engineering space right now includes some element of accessing the data. The data is key part of any software work these days. So interacting with the database and querying it and integrating with applications is key part of software development, as well as data analytics is a growing space. When you look into the market, actually one of the top jobs in the market is the data analytics, is the data engineering, and the data analytics and the data scientist jobs. So having the basic foundational skill to interact with the data, query the data, modify the data, manipulate the data is a key skill, and SQL is the common language to interact with the data. So I will be teaching foundational database. What is a database? And what are the relational database? What are different kind of database out there? Because 5-10 years ago we had just the relational databases. Right now there are multiple flavors of the database, including NoSQL databases, unstructured data, and the structured data such as the relational databases. And there are massive parallel processing platforms out there to run the queries in milliseconds, which usually used to take hours previously. So the SQL being a common language to query all of these relational databases, it's a foundational skill. So that's where I will be focusing on. This course is mostly for the beginners. I will be following up this course with a advanced course after this. So I will take this course as a initial beginner course, probably cover the basic skills required to interact with the databases and learn the foundational query writing on the SQL. So that's what this course will be focused on. Sister, if you can move to the next slide. Okay, just. Okay, so what is a database? And database is just an organized collection of structured information or data, typically stored electronically in the computer system. And SQL is a programming language used to merely query all of the relational databases and manipulate and define data and provide access control to the data. Right. The job roles which which use this SQL and the database are mostly the data analyst, the QA guys, QA analysts, and the BI developers, ETL developers, or software developers. So most of the jobs on the software space need this basic foundational skill on the SQL. The salary expectation, it starts from I would say 60K plus for a QA resource or a data analyst, and it can go up to beyond 6-figure salary, 100 and 200Ks for data engineers and the data architects as you grow in your space. So investing, why to invest time on this skill is that because it is a foundational skill, is required for most of the jobs on the software engineering space. So definitely a good skill to have on every resume. It will definitely add value. So what to expect from this training? I'm going to teach in-depth knowledge on what is the database, what is the relational database. Mostly the course will be focused on the relational databases. And end of this course, the student will have intermediate expertise on the how to write the SQL, SQL queries to interact with the databases, how to query, manipulate, and interact with or modify the data and present it. So the impact on students' job search and income expectations, definitely it's going to provide them the knowledge of the database and the SQL foundational skills, which will definitely help them increase the marketability, definitely help clear the interviews and the perform job duties efficiently, I would say. That's all I would say for this right now.
Brother Yassine, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Assalamu alaikum. So, hello everyone. My name is my name is Yasin. Yasin Muhammad. I'm a business intelligence leader. I have been in the industry for more than 25 years, primarily focusing on data management, data delivery, anything data. So, currently, recently, I got certified from RISE with cybersecurity. My email ID is there, and also my LinkedIn profile is there. So let's move on next one. So I'm going to talk about data visualization. Primarily, we are going to focus on the tool called Tableau. Tableau is one of the leading data visualization tools. So we will be currently the plan is to start on January 19th, planning to run around 10 to 12 sessions. We will be using the platform Zoom and the Google Classroom. Next slide, please. So what is data visualization? What is data visualization? So data visualization, I think previously the brothers talked about data, SQL, big data. Like we live in a world of data. We have Facebook, we have sensor data, we have oil and gas data, engineering data. So there are a lot of data, right? So what do we do with the data? We don't have any insights. So what we are going to learn about is how to read the data into a useful information, like giving insights with the data, making sense to the analysts, the C-level people or C-level executives, all those guys. We need to give them the data in a presentable way so that they can make some good decisions. So that's what data visualization is. So Tableau is one of those tools which can help us visualize the data into multiple reports, dashboards, KPIs, all those things. So the next one is what kind of job roles like are we looking for? So we are looking at like data engineers, data analysts, BA, business intelligence analysts, data scientists. There are a lot of wide range of job roles which can utilize data visualization and Tableau. Then when I talk about the salary, I did a quick job search a few days ago on Tableau in Houston area. The starting salary is around 65K, and a mid-level to senior can go up to 120 and even more. With an expert data engineer, they may be going to almost like 200K. Why invest time to learn the tool, subject, and topic? So we live in a world of data. So understanding the data, making use of the data is very important. So any company you go, they have data. Any company you work, whether you are an analyst, you are an entry-level analyst, or you are a manager or an executive. So to see the data in a better way, you need to present the data. So to present the data, you need tools like Tableau, Spotfire, Power BI. There are different tools. So Tableau is one of the tools. We are going to talk about Tableau, which will give you fundamental Tableau information about the tools, also which will help you to get learn other tools also. Then talking about some of the Tableau, can you go back to the previous slide, Sasha? So I'm just putting some of the sample jobs that were available in Houston area as of yesterday. So you can see that they're looking for business analysts with Tableau. Texas Children's Hospital is looking for people with the Tableau. So any company that the reason is Tableau, it is the cost of implementation is much lesser when compared to other tools. So that's why Tableau is a little bit popular. So learning Tableau is very easy. It's not like you just need to have the basic understanding of data. I believe there are other courses some of the brothers are taking about the SQLs and big data that's going to supplement when you learn with Tableau. That's going to supplement you a lot. So next slide, sister. Some of the Tableau tools, like Tableau is available online. We can do it online. It's available as a desktop version, a server version, and a free public version. There are different tools that we will be talking about. And we are planning to do an extensive in-depth Tableau training here. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer if you have any questions.
Inshallah, we'll have a question and answer session at the end, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
Is it my turn?
Yes, Brother Faisal, Assalamu alaikum.
All right, Assalamu alaikum. I can't see the presentation, but I'm assuming it's the introductory slide. So I'll start with that. My name is Faisal Zishan. I work as a principal architect for a company called Sirius Computer Solutions. I'm actually, technically, we were purchased by CDW. So this year, I guess I could say I work for CDW. My main focus is big data and analytics technologies for I guess for my day job. I do kind of as a hobby or something on the side work on just game development and also blockchain, and that's kind of part of what I'll even talk about a little bit here. So that's basically it. I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out to me either through the email, or you can always send me an invite on LinkedIn. Could you go to the next slide? So this class, Introduction to Blockchain, this is actually not a technical class, really more of a foundation class on blockchain. Basically, there's a lot of stuff out there right now. You guys probably hear about blockchain, cryptocurrency. So the real focus is to kind of get into the technology, discuss like how things are actually, how blockchain is architected, where cryptocurrency fits in, and then we'll do some of the hands-on technical stuff, but it would be more with interacting with the blockchain itself, and not necessarily, from the development point of view. Now, in terms of job outlook, like I said, this is not a technical class, but if you were to look for positions, they would be mostly in a development space. So there are positions for developers out there. It is a very new space, so I mean, things will change, hopefully. And then in terms of salary, the general salary for developers is around 120 to like around 145,000 on an average. And in terms of what you'll get out of this class is definitely a better understanding of blockchain technologies. And if you are a developer, you could easily take this knowledge and kind of, go to the next step. And then if you're not a developer, you can definitely make informed decisions when it comes to blockchain or cryptocurrency in general. And then again, you can explore other technical fields within this industry, as we go on. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments, anything at all from anyone? Okay, great. Could you go to the next slide? I think that's intro to Kafka, right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, perfect. Okay, so that's kind of my main focus, because that's what I do at work, more data and analytics. So the class itself is going to be a little bit more hands-on, more technical. There is no prerequisite. And the main focus is to kind of go over Apache Kafka, stack, kind of get into how Kafka works, architecture of Kafka, different components, features, use cases, etc. Well, actually, like I said, we'll do hands-on work as much as possible. So this should give you guys really good understanding. Now, in terms of the job roles, it could be really for pretty much any type of job role out there, but most likely folks who are consultants or developers or architects, they would really benefit from it. And a lot of those jobs that require Kafka skills have these job titles. In terms of salary expectations, salary is pretty good. You're looking at about 150 to 180,000 on an average. And obviously there are top ends to, where really large companies pay a lot more, but this is more of a national average. Now, what would you get out of it? I would say the biggest thing is this skill or this knowledge in Kafka would be beneficial for any position, not necessarily those top three that are listed there. It is a very or highly marketable skill. If you were to just go out and do a job search, I mean, I did that before this, before I build that slide. I think I found almost close to 3,000 openings. So definitely over 2,500 openings on dice.com that came back. Now this is a foundation class, but it is technical. So that it should give you guys an understanding of basic concepts, and probably will put you in a really good spot to kind of go from there and start doing things on your own. So if you're already technical, hopefully it's going to be very, very useful class. So I think that's about it. Really wanted to keep it brief. Any questions or anything, please let me know right now. I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Faisal. Assalamu alaikum. This is, my name is Shafat Khan, and I'll be talking about introduction to Salesforce. Sister, if you get to the next slide. So as I mentioned, my name is Shafat Khan. I have about 20 years of experience in IT in various architecture domains, having worn various caps and various hats in regards to the different roles in the different domains within architecture. Industry-wise, I have been fortunate enough to work in two or three different industries. Primarily, it's the healthcare, health insurance, the payer side of the industry. And then, of course, some time spent in semiconductor and the fleet management as well. In terms of contacts, my email is listed. My LinkedIn profile is there. Please feel free to connect. And if we have any questions or whatnot, we can definitely try and get that addressed towards the end of this session, inshallah. So in regards to the course is actually an introduction to Salesforce. So it's not a very detailed, doesn't go into the nuts and bolts of Salesforce, but it does give you a very high overview of what Salesforce is and why you might consider this space, moving into this space from a job and income perspective. So the course itself is starting 19th of May, following some of the earlier courses that were listed. Time is about 8 p.m. That's still flexible at this stage. About an hour long class, 3 classes is what we have in mind on Thursday evenings. So a total of 3 weeks at a high level. Medium would be obviously a lot of that Google Classroom and Zoom. So if you go to the next slide, sister. So again, the question is, we've got brothers and sisters and folks on the call who might benefit, and why and how would they benefit, and why would they spend significant amount of time, the limited time that they have attending this and learning about this. So Salesforce, what is Salesforce? So Salesforce is essentially a cloud-based platform. It's a customer relationship management platform. It's used by a lot of big companies out there for engaging with the customer when it comes to sales, service, marketing. So for interaction, that's really what it's primarily used for. The company itself is very large and holds a pretty leading spot in that space. In terms of the job roles, there are a plethora of jobs. There's many, many different roles that you could be in. Some of them are administrator, consultant. Now within consultant, there's many different types of consultant. So you don't have to be technical to be a consultant within Salesforce. And then of course, our developer role, which is much in demand, and an architect role as well. In terms of the salary expectations, you're looking at starting at 80, and then of course going all the way up depending on what the role is, 25K plus. In terms of why invest time, as I mentioned earlier, the most important thing that I like to bring up is the fact that there is low barrier to entry. What that means is that you don't have to be an expert developer. You don't have to be highly skilled on the technical side in IT. to be able to get into this space. So that's key. The second is, of course, there's a lot of growth in this space. There's lots of jobs, and there's a shortage of folks that are skilled in this space. So, it's a win-win. If you can get in, it's a big plus. In terms of this training, for those folks who are new to Salesforce, we'll give you a high-level introduction to this, what Salesforce is, so that you get a sense. And then if you do decide to pursue this further, we will give guidance in regards to what direction to take based on your specific profile. So we will definitely take a look at your profile, your background, your resume, and guide you, inshallah, to where you need to go. In regards to, obviously, bottom line benefit, for those brothers and sisters who are looking for a job, they'll get, hopefully, because of the low barrier to entry, easily get in. And then, of course, those who are already technical, it can help you in terms of opportunities and, of course, income substantially. I think that is about it. Sister, is there another slide after this, or this is about it? Okay, so I'll pass it on to the Python. Jazakallah khair.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, brother.
Yes, Brother Folk.
So so I will start. We are offering this beginner course. I think we offered last session also. So I'll be teaching this Python beginner course for this coming session. So I have I'm a senior software developer and data engineer for a UK-based company. So I work remotely for the last 8 years or so. Actually, my background is electrical engineering, but I've been doing software development since like 80s or something, like during my high school or late high school or whatever. But anyway, so I have 20 plus years of software development experience in US. In the middle, also did a PhD in computer science. Then my LinkedIn profile is also listed there. My email is there, so you can connect with me. Maybe next slide. Yeah. The course will be offered, I think, in a couple of weeks. We will have, I think, 11 weeks for the course. The timing maybe, I think the time is not right. It should be like 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. to 11:30 or 12. So we're starting from next week or week after, and then last until just before Ramadan, I guess, for like 11 classes. We will use Zoom for presentation or for online class, and Google Classroom for assignment and stuff. I guess we can also use Coding Room for doing a hands-on coding when we go there in Python. So Python is basically an easy to learn, a powerful language. Most of you guys heard about it. Even if you don't have any coding experience, the objective of this course is to start with a simple, easy to use Python language, and meanwhile also teach the coding, how to do the coding or programming. So although it's Python based, but we will start, it's a way that you don't have any coding experience. So we'll start from, from beginning. Of course, Python is easier to learn, and it's become one of the most commonly used language now since the last 5 years or so. It overtook Java and other languages because of the easiness. And plus it's used a lot for other stuff like in a data engineering role and also in data science. Because Python has built-in libraries and packages which supports data engineering and data science, machine learning stuff. So the roles, in terms of roles, the typical roles are software developers, software engineers, or backend developers, data engineers, test automation engineers. Actually, it applies to almost everything other brothers talk about. Brother Feroz talk about data analytics. So you need to have some coding experience, some programming experience, and Python is one of them. It's used a lot. Brother Muhammad already talk about SQL. So of course you need some type of SQL experience so that you can move forward with Python. Similarly, you can have a role as a BI developer or BI engineer or data analyst. Again, all of those require some type of a coding. And again, Python is one of the best known languages used nowadays for those roles. In terms of salary, As a junior developer, assuming that you already have a BS degree, or in some cases maybe not required, but if you have a BS degree or even associate degree, and with some coding experience, some 1 or 2 years of coding experience, you can get a role as a junior developer or entry-level developer with a salary expectation around 60K to 100K. And of course, after senior developer, after 5 years plus experience, you can be a senior developer. And if you have other experiences like SQL and cloud computing experience, you're talking about 150K or more. So why you invest time in this course? This course will give you a basic introduction to all the core concepts of coding, not only in Python in general. And then of course is one of the required, you can say, skill of any IT related job, whether it's data analysis or BI or even as a data scientist or machine learning expert and all that. So all require some type of coding, and Python is one of the top language used by all those roles. So after this course, of course, you want to do a more advanced course, which means intermediate course, and then that will help you find the job in this area. I think that's all for me.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Mohammed Rafiq. I'll be teaching Python intermediate level, which is a follow-up course to the course that Brother Farah just gave the introduction to. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. So a little bit about my background. So and like graduate school was like PhD was in electrical engineering, focused on more like a data driven studies. And also I have a master's degree in data science. I've been working in the industry for 2 years now, working as a data scientist at Cisco. And I have been using Python since 2014, used it extensively for my graduate studies as well as for my work. Then is my email and LinkedIn profiles. Next slide, please. So the course will be starting from January 16 until March 27. It will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And in total of like 11 courses. So in terms of platforms, we'll be using multiple platforms, like Zoom is one of them, and also we'll be using Google Classroom for course materials, assignments, things like that. And we'll also be using Coding Room, which is a really nice platform, which allows the students to have their own like working space, coding live, and the instructor can see each individual student's code, and they give live comments and things like that. And we'll be also using the Jupyter Notebook as a platform. Next slide, please. So Brother Farah talked about like why we learn Python, and so this is like very similar purposes, but let me just give a bit more on that. So this is an intermediate level course, so it's a follow-up to Python introduction level, which we covered like last 3-4 months. And the types of job roles that can be performed by Python language, like Python software developer, or like data analyst or data scientist. For data analyst, especially for data scientist type of job role, in addition to Python, you will also need SQL, and also like preferably some like big data analysis skill sets, like other brothers also talked about. In terms of the impact for salary, like it depends on different like job titles. Like what I looked up based on the Python developer or analyst is like minimum 70K, and it goes all the way up depending on different experience and skill sets. So why do we learn Python? Is like it's the most like popular programming language. If not, it's the number one, if not number two. and also it's very high in demand. And the good thing about Python is it's easy to learn, and there are a lot of like ready libraries, packages, which allows the Python users to like do a lot of things in like really timely manner. And what to expect after this course, since this is the intermediate level, we would expect the students to have some like basic understanding on like Python data structure. So after this intermediate level, you will be like fluent. You will be like have a comfortable feel comfortable about the Python data structure, and also you'll be able to code like functional programming, and you will be able to manipulate file like writing file, loading files, and stuff like that. And in the end, we'll be covering some of the statistical libraries and also give a brief introduction to Pandas library, which is the very useful tool for doing data analysis and the machine learning. That's all what I have. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother Rafiq. Sister Arshia, are you here?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, sister. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. So my course would be about the QA, quality assurance. I am Arshia Kavi. Yes, so my qualification is currently, I am a business analyst doing a little bit of data analytics as well. My education field right now is I'm almost done with my master's in data science and data analytics. This is my email. I've been in IT industry for over 10 years. I stepped into IT field as a QA tester. So that is what I'm going to be introducing to you guys, inshallah, this semester as my training course. So if we go to next page, please. The date of start for this course would be Jan 15th. It would be the class duration is 1.5 hours with total number of classes as 10 so far. And the platform and tools we would use would be Zoom, Google Classroom, and Jira or Studio based on what is easier for you guys. So in this course, I plan to give you as much hands-on as possible. That's why we would be experimenting with Jira or Studio. So if we go to next page, please. So this slide is about talking what exactly is quality assurance. In simple terms, it is companies' process to make sure that their products are high quality. Every company, every IT domain is constantly creating softwares. So before they give those softwares to the client, it is imperative on them to make sure that it is thoroughly tested. And that is where a QA tester comes into picture. They earn about $45 per hour to $60 per hour, depending on how much experience they are bringing and in what field they are doing testing. Why we should be investing time to learn this QA is because I feel that it is the easiest field to get your foot into IT. And it is one of the most widely used department because every tool, every software that is produced or is created in the company needs to be tested. There are a lot of testing types. There are functional testers, automation testers, security testing. So it goes on. There is a lot of room to grow in this field. What to expect after this training is you should have a general understanding of all the concepts covering manual testing so that you can have a QA certification if you decide to have one. The impact on students, job search, and income expectations. Income expectations should be around, like if you are an intermediate with 3 to 4 years of experience, experience, I would say $80,000 to, depending on your experience, it can go on to 110, 120K per year. If we go next, sister, that would be it. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Arshia. Brother Naeem.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Naeem. I don't know why my camera is not working.
It's working. We can see you.
It is working, Brother Naeem.
That's fine. So I'm a technical recruiter. I work for a company called Deca Consulting. And as you can see, my email address is, I'm in a Deca Consulting, and my LinkedIn address is there. And sister, if you could go to the next slide, please. The class starts on the 16th of February at I think 6 p.m. and then it goes until 7 p.m. It's 1 hour class, 8 classes, 4 weeks. And for that, we just need Zoom, and the Google Classroom will work just fine. Next one, please. Why invest time and effort into this? I got to look into this one. The funny thing is that every one of these, the instructors that we have here, all the technologies that they have worked on, the thing is, IT recruiter works with all these different technologies and people from all different walks of life using different types of technology. So it's a very good way to get into this industry, in the sense that you can become an IT guy without knowing much. I've been doing it for 16 years and I don't know anything. So that should tell you it's easy to do. And then also all of these big companies that are hiring people, they're probably hiring people by using either internal recruiters or external recruiters. External recruiters are like vendors, internals are called HR, talent acquisition, sourcing specialists, whatever you want to call it. So recruiter is something that is needed everywhere in order to find talent. And what they do is usually a customer or a company will have a need for, let's say, a Salesforce developer or an Agile coach or Kafka or QA or whatever have you. They'll give it to the recruiter. The recruiter will go ahead and post it everywhere they can, and they will start collecting resumes, start sourcing, identify good candidates, send it to the customer, and then if they get hired, that's what the recruiter does. And salary expectations, I put 46 grand because that's pretty basic, but it does come with commission. Some companies don't pay commission, but that in that case, the salary starts at like $75,000 to $90,000. It can go up to like 188,000. In some cases, a lot more than that. People who do executive headhunting, they make from 700,000 to about $1 million a year. And why would you want to invest time into this? I started this. I'm a political science major. I barely graduated from college, and I had no skill sets whatsoever. And I picked this up as a skill set, and it was pretty easy to do. And it makes it sound like you know a lot, because you can talk about every technology. But the thing is, like, if anybody wants to know a lot, then you don't know anything. So it makes you sound really intelligent. You get to, you get to interact with a lot of intelligent people in the process. You get to also learn very quickly how to get a job in this industry, because there's a lot of demand, and the barrier to entry is pretty minimal. That's another thing. What to expect after training? I said spring break, but my hope was that after training, I would help people get groomed for the position, help them build resumes, help them answer interview questions. The funny thing is that when they train to become a recruiter, they automatically learn how to build resumes and how to groom for interviews and how to prepare for interviews. So it would be like a double whammy for them. And impact on students, once you have your resume ready and everything is done, you will start talking to many people. And it's funny because you might post your resume as a recruiter, but somebody might hire you as a whole different thing. But the thing is that it opens up a whole different portal, and you can explore the world from there. And from there, if you want to get into in-depth technology, you could definitely get into QA or any other industry you want to get into. So it's a nice place to start. It pays pretty well, and honestly, if I could do it, a monk could do it. So next slide, please. Do I have any more slides? No? Am I talking to myself?
Sorry, no, I was on mute and I was just talking. No, you're done. You're no more
You
slides.
fell asleep, didn't you?
Jazakallah khair to all the speakers for this informative session. Sister Dahlia, if you can please conduct the Q&A.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah khaira. Very, very impressive presentation by everyone. We are so blessed to be working with such amazing instructors. Everything you said is amazing. I don't want to start commenting, but yeah, everybody, mashallah, tabarakallah. I think what gathers us is the umbrella of Islam. We're all working for Allah's sake, and that even makes it more beautiful. We have 2 questions on chat. So the first question is about big data analytics. Will there be any certificate upon completion of big data analytics and databases and SQL?
Yeah, I'll take that question since it is for big data analytics.
Absolutely, Brother Feroz.
Sure. So, brother, essentially, we will be following AWS Big Data Analytics certification syllabus. So, what you expect after this course is probably you can go through anything that I'm actually going to teach, some study material, some preparation from your side. And at the end of that, right, you can go ahead and appear for this certification. It is one of the well-known certification in industry that would open up plethora of opportunities for you in future, inshallah.
Jazakumullah khairan. The next question, will you cover Power BI too in your SQL class?
Is this for database and SQL?
Yes, please, Brother Muhammad.
No, the Power BI will not be covered in this course. This is, as I said, it's a foundational course on the database and the SQL programming, right? It will be used as a skill for most of the jobs in the software engineering space. So it is a foundational SQL beginner course. It is not. It is as I said, it is a generic course for all of the software engineering space. We do not go to specifically point target any particular tool or technology here.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Muhammad Ali. The next one is a other question from Sister Malak. No questions here, but thank you so much. I learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to taking some of these courses. We look forward to you registering with us, Sister Malak. Sister Fatima, is Agile course limited to software development? Can it be applied to manufacturing environment on factory floor? Brother Imtiaz?
Okay, so I missed the question. Is the Agile course limited to software development? Can it be applied to manufacturing? So the Agile Foundation course that the intent is to teach is actually lays down the foundation for both software development and both in the manufacturing world, typically called the Kanban method. So we'll introduce a little bit of concept, which technically manufacturing and Toyota and all comes from that space. There's specific certifications in Kanban that you may want to pursue outside if that's of an interest. But the course is actually a broader perspective of both software development and even business agility. By that, what I meant was, finance, HR, areas of that nature are also now being agile. So it's not necessarily a application or software development class at this point.
If I could just add one more thing, sister. If you're talking about manufacturing floor, you might want to look into Lean Six Sigma or Lean Manufacturing type of certifications. They do have black belt, brown belt, whatever have you. Just like Brother Imtiaz said, Agile is a principle. Kanban is also a principle. I don't think you can apply that on the floor itself as a worker, but you can apply that as a business on the floor, just like Toyota did.
Beautiful addition. Jazakallahu khair, both of you. So Brother Naim asked, can instructors attend classes to learn? Brother Farouk had also mentioned that before. I think it's going to be up to the instructors. We're going to leave it up to the instructors, inshallah, so we can kind of hash that between us as instructors and program directors. But, I don't see why not if instructors are okay with it, inshallah. Brother Sayed, just thanking everyone. And then we have a question. Will you share the PowerPoint slides with us so we can have info for us to review? We are going to be using Google Classrooms. Google Classrooms are going to have the presentations because we're going to record classes. Inshallah, this is our intention to record classes, but it will not be downloadable. So you will only be able to watch us on Google Classroom. Please this is from Amber, our admin. Please like our page on Facebook. Sister Fawzia, will Python skills help me in cybersecurity roles? Can we have either Brother Muhammad or Brother Farouk answer that?
Yeah, I think any role which requires some coding skill, it will be beneficial there. Of course, you need maybe more like an intermediate or advanced Python knowledge to do that. So most of the things we talk about today all require some type of a coding experience or coding knowledge. So it will help in any role, basically, any developer or any IT role.
Barakallahu feek, Brother Farouk. Brother Muhammad, do you want to add anything?
Just like in terms of, as Brother Farouk mentioned, like in terms of like the foundation of the programming, yes, it will definitely help, but it will not be covering the concepts behind the cybersecurity, which is the completely different field.
Awesome, Barakallahu feek. Sister Fatima is asking if the schedule does not work, will we be offering those classes again? And I hope and pray that the answer is yes. It's going to be up to our instructors, but our intention is to offer them again, inshallah, in the fall. But again, it's going to be up to the instructors and their schedule. You're welcome. She is thanking every single person for answering and for presenting. Any other questions for us? Well, if we do not have any other questions, I want to thank you all. We've actually just finished in 1 hour, so alhamdulillah. I want to thank every single person who came today to attend. We all look forward to having you register in as many classes as you want, but do not over-register because there will be homework and the load will be too much. So we're trying to kind of stagger some classes. Just make sure that, inshallah, you consult with us if you want to register more than one class. Sister Amber is going to be available for that. In the comments area in the registration form, please ask to speak to either one of the instructors or to the admin or to myself, and inshallah, we'll be reaching out to you either via email or via phone, inshallah. And please pass the word. Send our flyers to everybody you know, and inshallah, we hope and pray to have you all with us. Brother Muhammad Ali is answering. Do you want to answer on the mic, or are you good, Brother Muhammad?
Yeah, there is a question, what kind of certification for SQL class? There is no certification for the SQL class. However, I think definitely, there are multiple certifications. You guys, if somebody want to go and pursue it, but I'm not suggesting any certification for the SQL class.
Well, Jazakallah khair, Brother Muhammad Ali, and Jazakallah khair, everyone. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اتبعه بإخلاص إلى يوم الدين وارض عنا معهم أجمعين. اللهم آمين. اللهم آمين. اللهم آمين. You can leave unless you need anything from us at this point. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Jazakallah, sister.
Okay.
You too, Brother Sayyid. Barakallahu feek.